Okay, take 5.
How has God worked in your ministry this year, and what do you expect God to do in your ministry in 2002?
God has placed a real burden in my heart for my neighbors, and last year when I moved to Markham, I couldn't wait to meet my neighbors, and I was praying to God for an opportunity in which I could just reach out to the people in my neighborhood. So one evening I invited my next door neighbor Edith over for dessert, and we got to talking, and though we didn't know each other very well at that point, she still felt comfortable sharing some of the struggles that she was going through with me. And it was a bit of a risk on my part, but I really sensed the Spirit's prodding, and I asked her if I could pray for her at that time. And she accepted, and I was just really glad to have the opportunity to minister to her in that way. And following that, Peter and Rhonda Korpatwa came over, or actually I went over to their place, and they shared with me their vision of the cluster ministry. Essentially, it's an evangelism plan that's focused on caring for and reaching out to your neighbors. I was really excited and struck by the challenge of praying for your neighbors regularly and restructuring my own activities so that I could free up time to spend with them. And eventually, the goal of the ministry would be for me to share my faith with them. So in the coming year, I hope to take Peter and Rhonda's Transformations course so that I could develop my own personal evangelism skills. And I plan to continue building a friendship with my neighbors and to seek out more opportunities whereby I could just share God's love in tangible ways. So my prayer is that God will encourage the people of Cornerstone to also have a desire to befriend their neighbors and to reach out to them. So through this ministry, I hope that God will do great things.
Hi, I'm here to talk about Turbo Group, and I think I was encouraged by the time that we spent together as a group during Turbo, and we talked about things like leadership and community, and that's what I walked away with most. I felt like God was saying that community was very, very important, and that made me take the step to lead, to build deeper community. I'm excited for the future of Turbo because I think once people get involved in Turbo and join the Turbo Group, they will see that almost God can make almost anybody a leader that doesn't also have to be gifted totally, but is willing to do God's work. So who knows, maybe God will want you.
We are really happy about the outreach ministry this year. We are able to help people in our community with the Markham Food Bank donations, and we're also able to help people globally with Samaritan's Purse.
Initially with Samaritan's Purse, we were just going to do that with our small groups, little tiny vision. And then God expanded that, and we opened it to the church, and this year we collected over 100 boxes. That was very exciting.
And we're excited about this year, 2002, that we can help again the Markham Food Bank and also do some more outreach ministry with hospital visitations and really spread God's love.
2001 was a wonderful year for our outreach team. We witnessed 2 people come to the Lord. Another person totally recommitted their life to God, and they're on fire for Him. And we've also witnessed the birth of our young people small group, as well as our neighborhood outreach project. In 2002, we expect to see God continue to work in our group as we continue to learn what it is to become a contagious church and a praying church. We want to see more growth, not just in numbers, but also in souls.
Hi, my name is Cindy, and this is Christina, and we are co-facilitators for Connection Sunday. It was a great opportunity for us to meet each other and other people in the church that we otherwise wouldn't have. And it was also a great opportunity for all of us to spur each other on spiritually to grow closer to God.
And we've just finished our 7 sessions. It was a great success, and we're all very happy about where we work. And we've decided to move forward as a whole group, to continue as a small group. And I hope that, or we hope that, through prayers and God's Word, we will continue to know more, get to know more about God and get to know more about each other. So thank you.
That at Willow Creek Arts Conference, we had a really good time, but also had a chance to encounter God and be challenged by how we could minister to Cornerstone and really lead them to encounter God and to worship Him. But something else that I think was a blessing this year was, for those who are new leaders, myself included, we really learned to trust in God and saw how faithful He is, and saw how, even when we're not really sure of what songs to sing, what words to pray, or what passages in the Bible to read, He shows and reveals them to us, and somehow helps us connect that with what the pastors have to say, so that we can help Cornerstone worship. And that, just to learn to be confident in God and not worry about being confident in ourselves, I think was a blessing, because I'm really hoping anyway that it helped Cornerstone worship this year. For next year, I'm hoping that those on the worship team, all of us will continue to grow, to know God better. I think all of us have taken on the devotional challenge, and we're also learning to get to know each other better and praying in groups. And I think if we can, as worshipers, as lead worshipers, be more passionate about God and meeting Him in our private lives, we can be more passionate when we're trying to lead the congregation in worship for God. And hopefully that passion will become contagious, and it will become not just something that we do on Sundays, worshiping God, but worship God with our lives, and let that overflow into our relationships with people in the community.
2001 was a big year for Cornerstone. It saw the beginning of its first prayer ministry, Radical Alliance, R&R. The biggest lesson I think I've learned is that prayer is powerful. Through the prayers and through the sharing, through the tears and through the fellowship, I think we've all come to meet God in ways that we've never experienced before. Prayer is powerful. And through the prayers, through everything that we've been doing, we've experienced accelerated fellowship. We've experienced transformed lives, passionate spirituality, more love and compassion for all those around us. God's answered so many of our prayers in more ways than we could even believe. And we've really discovered that prayer is powerful.